When the majority of people are thinking about earning more money, the one factor that they typically look at is the financial side. What is something that I can do that will make me more money, and how can I scale this one thing? And this is why the majority of people struggle making more money, because you don't understand the three aspects to making money and then see how you can scale those three things. Because the second thing that you have to pay attention to, besides just the financial, is the legal aspect. And the third factor is the moral aspect. And then in this tiny area, this is where you create the most opportunity. And now the question is, how can you scale the opportunity right here? Financially, you can go out and start selling drugs on the street. Maybe ethically and morally, you don't care. You might think it's fine, but legally, that's not gonna work. When I was in college, I started an event planning company. I kind of started it before I was in college, but it really started to take off when I was in college. And in this company, the biggest thing that we did was hosting club parties. Now, the money was good. And yeah, it was kind of legal, kind of not legal. I was an underage kid hosting club parties. I'm sure there's some legal issues there, but financially, I was making good money. The problem was I didn't like the industry. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I'm not into partying. For me, it was a hustle. It was a way to make money because I didn't know anything else. I was working with a lot of DJs, and it was a way for me to start making money, and it was what I knew. But as I started to grow, we started to make good money. And as a college kid, when you're making about 6 figures a year, it's a ton of money. And I could have scaled this into something a whole lot bigger. But the problem was this moral aspect. I hated the industry that I was in. So I took this company where I was making great money, and then I shut it down because I didn't like what I was doing. It didn't sit well with me. And after a couple of years of doing it, well, I stopped caring. I didn't want to keep doing it, so I shut it down. So I had the financial aspect, and yeah, I was on the borderline legal and not legal stuff, but financially it was good, legally let's assume it was good, but morally it didn't work for me, so I could never scale it into something that it could have been. Now, just because something is legal and just because something is moral doesn't mean that you're gonna be able to make any money from it. You have to make sure that you can actually scale this income. Like, I could go out and start a bedtime reading service where every night I come to your house and I'm gonna read you a bedtime story to help you fall asleep. That's legal, it's moral, but I'm probably not gonna make any money. The only person that's gonna buy this is probably gonna be my broke cousin Bunty. So you have to understand now, how do these three aspects play together? For a little bit of time, more than a decade ago, I was selling things on Amazon and eBay. And this is before Amazon FBA was cool. This is before it was super popularized to sell things on the internet. But I had this idea with my friend to sell things on Amazon and eBay, where we bought products from China and then we sold it on Amazon and eBay. And this is before it was all over the internet on how to do this. And we started making good money. Yeah, it was legal, and yes, it was moral. We were making a little bit of money, but the problem was it wasn't scalable. Because what I started thinking at that time, more than 10 years ago, was, well, we're buying things and selling them, but they're not ours. We're selling somebody else's stuff. And what's stopping somebody else from undercutting us? And then we had the issue of, well, what happens if we're selling products and then the person who's selling us the products stops selling them to us? Then our business shuts down. And then we had the issue of, oh my God, what if the manufacturer who's selling us products is lying to us and they're not authentic products? That was an issue that we ran into, which is one of the reasons why we ended up shutting down the business. But what I saw was, yeah, it was legal. Yeah, it was moral. And yeah, we were making a little bit of money, but the scaling part of the business was not there. We didn't have any real product. We didn't have any IP. We didn't have anything that we could scale because we were so reliant on everybody else, but we had no way to secure our own financial future with it. Because if anybody shut us down, if Amazon shut us down, or if our manufacturer shut us down, well, now we're done. And if we were to gain any sort of market share, well, then the bigger players would want to come in and they'd want to take our spot and undercut us, and we'd have nothing that we could do. So yeah, it was legal, it was moral, but we had no financial scalability. So if I really wanted to make a lot of money, it would be extremely difficult, nearly impossible to do that, because I own nothing and I control nothing. The moral side of earning more money is the most personal. I don't smoke, I don't drink, and I had a lot of opportunities to get into the weed business as soon as it started getting legalized in my state. But I didn't do it. Yeah, it was financially great. It was legal. But morally, it didn't sit right with me because I don't smoke. Now, if you smoke, that's fine, but I don't. And I don't want to promote smoking. I don't want to promote drinking. I don't want to promote that type of thing. So morally, it didn't sit right with me, although I could make a ton of money. The people that were pitching these weed businesses to me years ago when it first became legal are making millions of dollars now, but I chose not to do it, not because of this or this, but because of this. Now, when you find that hybrid right here, when you find this opportunity right here, now the question is, how do you scale it? That way you can earn even more money without it relying on you. If you enjoyed this short clip from my longer videos, here's another clip that I think you'll love. And while you're at it, if you're interested in learning more about how to start generating passive income, our team put together an amazing guide on how to start generating passive income for free. All you gotta do is click that button right over there. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep hustling.